Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and I want to welcome you to Mike Grafstein Hypnosis. And the purpose of this video is to let you know why I've created this channel and if this is something that may resonate with you, something that may help you. So it basically everything started when I was 8 months old. I had a life-saving operation. I had what they called diaphragmatic hernia. My bowels popped through my diaphragm, shifted my heart over to the right side, and collapsed my left lung. And I was basically within 30 to 60 seconds of death. What that led to when I was younger was, from my perspective, I saw a lot of overprotectiveness. There was a lot of things I was not allowed to do. And that just it what that did is it kind of affected my confidence in a sense. Now that being said, that was my perspective. However, my parents did allow me to go to residential camp where I was outside of their own care. However, I did not see it at that time as something to give me independence. In the back of my mind, there's always this you can't do this, you can't do that. And then to top that off, when I believe as a result of that um, surgery or whatever, I developed a heart murmur. And now in high school, I wanted to play football. I thought, wow, what a cool sport. But unfortunately, I was told I was not allowed to play football. And at the same time, I was playing hockey. And probably by the age of 18 or maybe 19, I had had at least 8 concussions, two of which I know I was definitely knocked out for. And back in those days, many years ago, we did not have concussion management. We did not have a tracking of signs and symptoms. We didn't even have what I can even remember the phrase of return to play. There wasn't a step by step process, so to speak. So for me, what was happening, and the thing is with the concussions, they weren't all, most of them actually weren't even in hockey for that matter. But what was happening was I had dizziness, I had headaches, I had blurred vision. I know on a couple occasions I got really sick and I was throwing up. And then I know one of the concussions I had after the age of 18, I was in a fog while going to school for 6 months. And the thing is, I always knew that I wanted to be in the helping business. I always wanted to help people. And that led me into athletic therapy, which led me into massage, then sport massage. And when I was in athletic therapy, I kind of was really curious of what was happening with my brain and what was happening with concussions. And I learned the hard way because I made a mistake a few times in returning players back before they were ready. And that's because I had no clue what I was doing. I thought I did, but I didn't. So for about 5 years, all I did was take courses on concussions, assessment, treatment, and the rehab. And what was happening with the field work was things were much, much better. I got challenged a lot of times by parents that they didn't see any problem with their child. However, um, I would put them through a few quick tests, and all of a sudden the headaches and the dizziness would come back, and I knew they weren't ready to play. And that was great. And then the other thing that was happening during my childhood was we didn't know that my dad was bipolar or manic depressive. So a lot of mood swings up and down and up and down. And being the oldest, what I didn't realize was because he was my dad and I was the son, that I took on a lot of that up and down with emotions. I realized too later in life that I was carrying a lot of anger, I was carrying a lot of negativity, and a lot of lack of self confidence, and always looking to get that I don't know if you want to call it that appreciation or that recognition. And it wasn't until I discovered hypnosis that a lot of things changed. Now, things didn't change right away, but over a period of time, I learned to let go a lot of that anger. I was not a nice person to be around, and I could just fly off the handle like that. That's one thing. The other thing that I found learning, going through hypnosis and learning it and having gone through processes, was what true complete recovery is. Like you break a leg, you get put in a cast, and you heal. You go to rehab and you go back to whatever you were doing. And at the same time, concussions, you know, they do take time. But one of the things that I found with over 30 years of working with office workers, weekend warriors, um, Olympic, Paralympic athletes, sometimes when you get to a point where you're physically clear to go back into play, return to work, sometimes there's always that hesitation. And it's almost like there is an invisible barrier there, something that you need to almost like rise above it, then trust in yourself, trust in your body, trust in your mind, and then learn to thrive from the inside out. Because any type of change that we have, what I've come to learn, has to come from the inside. Because it doesn't matter how many times you are told how good you are, how great you are. If you've been carrying something, a lack of confidence, a lack of belief in yourself, uh, confidence, as I said before, it has to come from within. It has to come from you. Because honestly, it does not matter, generally speaking, how many times somebody can tell you, oh, you're amazing, you're really good, until you actually believe it and start taking the actions that show it. It's not going to make a difference to you what is happening. And this is why I absolutely love hypnosis, because it allows me to help somebody realize how amazing they are, or how good they can do. And it's coming from them, not from me. Because everybody, even the most successful people, have failed a lot more, have been in probably horrendous situations, but were able to find a belief in themselves that they're good enough, they're powerful, and they can move forward and make the changes they need to do. Most of the time, many times, you can do this for yourself. And sometimes you just need a little bit of guidance. And this is the reason why I created this channel, to help athletes who are hesitating before they return to play from a major injury. Maybe it's a concussion, maybe it's the knee and it's the ACL. Athletes that lack the self confidence. I've been there. I understand it. I may not understand you, but I can appreciate what you are going through. And the other thing that's happened with me in the last 5 years is we've heard the term anxiety, but I didn't feel it until a couple years ago when I woke up, chest pounding, having major sweats, because what I was doing is I was predicting a negative future. And it wasn't until I decided to get help through hypnosis that it allowed me to change the way I look into the future, and has basically brought me here in a sense as part of my journey with this channel. So, as I said before, I love helping people. I think I really uh, get that from my mom, who was the founder of the Manic Depressive Association in Toronto, which became Hopes in Me, mood disorders, and her energy work, and taking the positive things from my dad, his creativity. So, my name is Michael Wolf Grafstein, sometimes known as Matrix Mike. I want to welcome you to Mike Grafstein Hypnosis. And what I want you to do right now, just for a moment, I want you to ask yourself this one question. What is the one thing that is holding me back, that's been going on forever, to move forward? And I will repeat that. What is the one thing that is holding me back, that's been going on forever? Now, you don't have to answer the question right away. You can just sit with it, because this is what I believe. I believe whatever the barrier that is in front of you, the bump in the road, the wall that's blocking you, I do believe you have it within you to rise above it, to trust in yourself again, because you did at one point, and thrive from the inside out. Rise above, trust, and thrive. See you in the next video.